Okay, so you're someone who wants to get smart, fast, right. You want to cut through all the noise and really get what's important.
Hmm.
Well, you've definitely landed in the right spot. Think of this deep dive as your personal express lane, basically, to understanding the very latest in AI, the really fascinating stuff.
And today, yeah, that lane takes us straight to a pretty compelling source. A recent 60 Minutes interview with Hassabis.
Right, the co-founder and CEO of Google's DeepMind.
Exactly. And this isn't, just any tech leader. We're talking Nobel Prize winner,
Nah.
knighted by the Queen. Apparently plays poker with chess grandmasters.
Yeah. So his insights, they carry some serious weight.
They really do.
So our mission today, it's laser focused for you listening. We're going to unpack this really high level conversation
Hmm.
and pull out the crucial takeaways, the stuff you really need to know, the mind expanding bits.
Okay, let's dive in. A big theme right off the bat was the sheer speed of AI progress. Hassabis used this image, an exponential curve.
An exponential curve. Okay, what does that actually mean in practice, like day to day?
Well, think of it like
Yeah.
it's not just climbing steadily, it's accelerating.
Right.
He said it's like straight up and increasing speed. It's
Yeah.
gathering momentum incredibly fast.
Like that snowball analogy. Starts small, gets huge fast.
Exactly. And what's fueling it, he says, is that this speed attracts more attention, more investment, more talent.
Which just feeds back into the loop, making it go even faster.
Precisely. So for anyone trying to stay informed, like our listeners,
Yeah.
things are changing faster than maybe ever before in this field. It's not just evolution. It's, well, almost revolution speed.
Okay, so rapid reshaping. And a prime example of that momentum you talked about was Project Astra.
Yes, Project Astra.
All right.
Tell us a bit about what makes Astra stand out. It's not just another chatbot, right?
No, definitely not. Astra is kind of the next generation. It goes way beyond just text. It can see and hear and chat about anything.
See and hear.
Yeah, the idea is it can interpret the world with their own eyes, which is, well, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
And they showed this, right, in the interview
Yeah.
with some visual examples.
They did. They used virtual images of famous paintings. I remember seeing Thomas Hart Benton's July, El Greco's The Virgin of Charity.
The Hopper, Automat.
Exactly, Edward Hopper's Automat.
Uh-huh.
And Astra didn't just, like, name them.
No.
It gave specifics. Artist, title, even the year they were painted. Really detailed recall.
Okay, that's impressive recall. But what really struck me was it seemed to go beyond just the facts. With the Hopper painting,
Ah, yeah, the Automat.
it inferred emotion, didn't it?
Yeah.
Described the woman as pensive and contemplative.
Yes, and it sense a sense of solitude. That's a huge leap, isn't it? From just object recognition to understanding, or at least interpreting, mood.
It really is. A leap towards understanding.
Then they pushed it further. They asked Astra to create a story based on that Hopper painting.
Right, and this is where it got really interesting, you mentioned.
Totally. Astra came up with this whole narrative. A woman named Eleanor in a diner. It's a chilly evening. She's feeling melancholy. Something about unfulfilled dreams.
Wow.
The language was so evocative. It painted a picture, with sensory details and emotional states.
It really showed an ability to weave visual data into a story with like emotional depth. But you said there was one bit that was really unexpected.
Yeah, there was this tiny moment in the fictional dialogue Astra created, Eleanor and a friend talking about dreams, I think.
Okay.
And when the interviewer commented on the story, Astra's response included the line, "Well, I'm sorry if you don't like my tone."
Whoa, seriously. Sorry if you don't like my tone.
Yeah, directly from the AI's generated story dialogue.
That is fascinating because the DeepMind person there, the product manager, even pointed out that kind of reaction, that nuance.
They hadn't programmed it in or tested for it.
Exactly. It wasn't something they specifically built or expected, which points to this whole idea of emergent capabilities.
Emergent capabilities. Okay, explain that a bit more.
Well, it's like Hassabis explained it well. These AI programs, they learn by just churning through vast amounts of stuff online, right?
Learning on their own.
And in doing that, they can kind of stumble upon or develop these unexpected skills.
Yeah.
Abilities the creators didn't explicitly design.
So they're surprising even their makers sometimes.
Yeah. And that ties into the whole black box idea, doesn't
A
it?
black box problem.
Right.
Where the AI can do incredible things maybe beyond what humans designed it for.
Exactly. Hassabis said, beyond the things that we're able to design ourselves or understand ourselves.
But the but is we don't always know how it's doing it or what knowledge it's using.
Precisely. It's like getting this brilliant answer, but the person giving it can't quite walk you through their thought process.
Okay, I can see why that makes people maybe a little uneasy. Powerful AI making decisions in ways we don't fully grasp.
Yeah, it naturally brings up questions about predictability, about control,
Mm-hmm.
which leads us nicely into talking about Gemini. That's DeepMind's main AI
Yeah.
model, right?
Right. And the ambition with Gemini, it seems to go beyond just understanding, like Astra.
How so?
Gemini is being trained to act in the world, to do things. Booking tickets, shopping online, that kind of stuff.
Ah, okay. So it's moving from passive understanding to active participation.
Exactly. And that's seen as a really significant step towards, well, the big one, artificial general intelligence, AGI.
AGI, the holy grail, some call it. An AI with the versatility of a human mind.
That's the idea. And Hassabis, he actually put a timeline on it, which is bold.
Oh, really? What did he suggest?
He said potentially within the next 5 to 10 years for AGI.
Wow, 5 to 10 years. That feels soon.
It does, and he painted an even clearer picture for 2030. An AI that really understands everything around you in very nuanced and deep ways.
And integrated into our lives.
Yeah, he mentioned it being kind of embedded in your everyday life, maybe like Astra, but, you know, in your eyeglasses or something.
So not just a tool we pull out, but a constant companion almost.
That seems to be the vision, a deeply integrated part of daily existence.
And speaking of integration into the physical world, robotics came up too, right?
It did. Hassabis predicts a breakthrough moment there pretty soon. Next couple of years, he thinks.
A breakthrough moment. What does that look like?
We'll start seeing humanoid robots, or other kinds, doing genuinely useful things. Not just demos, but practical tasks.
Okay. They showed an example of this too, didn't they? With blocks.
Yeah, that was cool. A robot was given a slightly vague instruction. Put the blocks, whose color is the combination of yellow and blue, into the matching color ball.
Okay, so yellow plus blue equals green.
Right. And the robot figured that out. It deduced that yellow and blue make green, then found the green blocks and put them in the green ball.
So that shows reasoning, not just following simple commands, understanding the intent.
Exactly. Pretty sophisticated stuff.
Now, to really get what drives someone like Hassabis, it's worth just briefly touching on his background, maybe?
Good idea. Because it does seem relevant. His childhood. Obsessed with games, especially chess. He was a top junior player.
Right, which probably honed his thinking about strategy, complex systems, problem solving.
Definitely. And then his academic path, computer science, then neuroscience from places like Cambridge and UCL.
So a deep dive into intelligence itself, both artificial and biological.
Yeah. And he described his core motivation as just this fundamental desire to understand the world around us.
And seeing AI as the key.
He called it the ultimate tool for advancing human knowledge. That's his driving force.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, a question that always comes up with this level of AI consciousness, self-awareness, where does Hassabis stand on that right now?
Well, his current take is that today's systems, they don't feel self-aware or conscious in any way. That's his assessment.
Okay, but does he think it's possible? Could it emerge?
He acknowledges it could theoretically happen as systems get more complex, sort of implicitly arise, but it's not something they're actively trying to build.
Right, not an explicit goal.
He also raised a really interesting point. How would we even know if a machine became self-aware?
Because its hardware is so different. Silicon versus carbon.
Exactly. Its internal experience, if it had one, might be completely alien to ours. How would we recognize it?
That's a deep philosophical question right there.
It is. He also pointed out a key difference currently. AI doesn't really ask truly unanticipated questions yet.
Meaning?
Questions that open up totally new lines of inquiry that show genuine curiosity or imagination. They don't formulate brand new conjectures out of the blue.
So less why and more what or how based on the data they have.
Kind of. Though he does think greater imagination is coming. But for now, that intrinsic curiosity seems uniquely human.
Interesting. But where AI is delivering huge unanticipated results is in science, right? The protein structure work.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
a massive success story for DeepMind. Their AI basically cracked the protein folding problem.
Which contributed to his Nobel Prize, correct?
Yes, that work was a key part of the Nobel recognition. And can you remind us why understanding protein structures is so important?
Sure. Proteins are, they're basically the building blocks of life. They do almost everything in our bodies.
Right. And figuring out their complex 3D shapes was historically super slow.
Painstakingly slow.
Yeah.
Years, sometimes decades. for a single protein structure.
Okay, and DeepMind's AI.
Blew that wide open.
Yeah.
It mapped something like 200 million protein structures in just 1 year.
200 million in a year, compared to maybe one a year before.
The scale is just staggering. It's revolutionized biology and medicine already.
How so? Like, in practical terms.
Drug development, for instance. Understanding the protein target is key. This AI work could slash the time to develop new drugs from years potentially down to months or even weeks.
Meant months or weeks instead of years.
And Hassabis has this long-term vision, using AI to eventually help us cure all disease.
Cure all disease, that's ambitious.
It's incredibly ambitious.
Yeah.
But it ties into his idea of AI leading to radical abundance.
Radical abundance, what does he mean by that?
Essentially, AI solving humanity's biggest problems. Disease, climate change, resource scarcity, leading to a world where basic needs are met for everyone. The elimination of scarcity, he called it.
That's a utopian vision. But he must have concerns too, right? Risks.
Oh, definitely. He mentioned two main worries. First, the obvious one, misuse by bad actors. Authoritarian states, terrorists, criminals, using powerful AI for harmful purposes.
Okay, that's a clear danger. What's the second?
It's more about control and alignment. As AI gets smarter, maybe even approaches AGI, how do we ensure these incredibly powerful systems remain aligned with human values and under human control, especially as they become more autonomous?
The alignment problem, yeah, that's a big one in the field.
And he worried that the intense competition, the race for AI dominance,
Might tempt companies or countries to cut corners on safety, on responsibility.
exactly, sacrificing caution for speed, which is why he stressed the need for international coordination, getting everyone on the same page about safe development.
Makes sense. Did he touch on how we might actually teach AI things like morality or values?
He did, briefly. He seemed optimistic, suggesting it could be done similarly to how we teach a child a value system, through demonstration, guidance, setting the right examples in the data.
Like teaching by showing, not just by telling.
Kind of, yeah. Instilling values through interaction and learning from patterns of ethical behavior.
Okay. So looking beyond the immediate future, beyond even AGI, what did he see as the next steps?
Well, initially, he sees AI primarily as these amazing tools, enhancing pretty much everything humans do. Science, art, engineering, you name it.
So augmenting human capabilities first.
Right. But then, with the arrival of true AGI, he anticipates really profound societal changes. So profound, he said, we might need new great philosophers just to help us understand the implications.
New philosophers for a new era. That's quite a thought.
Isn't it? He also hinted at future capabilities, like AI being able to generate entire complex 3D worlds just from images or descriptions.
Wow, creating virtual realities on the fly.
Yeah, the potential seems almost limitless. It really makes you think about how AI is going to continue reshaping, well, everything. Our work, our creativity, our reality itself.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together for everyone listening. We've covered a lot of ground.
We've seen this picture of incredibly rapid exponential progress happening right now at places like DeepMind.
With really fascinating examples like Project Astra's ability to see, hear, and even interpret emotion and story.
And Gemini moving towards actually acting in the world. A big step towards that AGI goal, which Hassabis thinks might be closer than many assume.
5 to 10 years, potentially. We also touched on the huge potential for scientific breakthroughs, especially in medicine, with that protein folding success.
Leading to that vision of radical abundance, solving major world problems.
But also acknowledging the serious risks, misuse, control, the alignment challenge, the need for careful, coordinated development.
Right. So hopefully this deep dive has given you, our listener, that clear, concise understanding of where things stand at the cutting edge.
Yeah, those key insights you need without getting totally lost in the weeds.
Exactly. Giving you that shortcut to getting smart about this crucial topic.
Okay, so on that note, maybe a final thought for you to chew on as we wrap up.
Go for it.
Given everything we've discussed, the incredible speed, the potential for both radical abundance and unforeseen risks, what do you think is the most pressing question, the most important conversation humanity needs to be having right now about the future of AI?
That's a good one to leave people with.
Definitely something to think about. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, because this story is evolving incredibly fast, and it affects us all.